Hello everyone and welcome to my second year evening routine at college. Usually at about 4 p.m. I'll either be finishing up, maybe practicing violin, or I'll be done my classes. This particular day I had a Russian civilization review session, so I left that to go walk to the dining hall, and I listened to music as I went. Sometimes I'll put on a podcast, but I do like to just have my earbuds in to listen to something as I walk. I arrived at the dining hall and swiped in so that I could get my meal in a bit, although it was a little bit too early to eat now. So I just took a table, which, by the way, my favorite table was open. I like this one because it's by the window and it's in a corner. And then I sat down and took my coat off, got my laptop out, and then also got out my charger to plug in my laptop as it was near dead, and then opened up The Hound of the Baskervilles to work on my essay for my Victorian literature class. What we have to do for the essay is basically make a map or a graph based on something that's spatialized in the text. So what I'm doing is kind of the distance between Holmes and Watson throughout the story, because their proximity is often very distant, because Watson and Holmes are often separate from each other throughout the novel. So I'm basically writing about that and how it relates to speculation, which it sounds very ambiguous, and it kind of is. Like, I'm having trouble myself wrapping my head around what I'm even arguing in the essay, but I'm really hoping it all ties together, especially where it's a final. And then I usually will go up and get a drink before I go to get my food. Today's meal had this mushroom thing on top, so if you're wondering what that big brown thing is on top of my rice, it's mushrooms. I'll also go grab my fork and bring that back to my table, as well as get out napkins, my book, just everything I need so I can sit and enjoy the meal without having to get up again. While filming this video, I was finishing up Still Life with Woodpecker, and if you want to see my entire scathing review, it's on Goodreads, but I was not impressed with this book at all. I just thought it was kind of terrible, to be honest. It was inundated with just these metaphors and anecdotes. Like, you had to sift through so much material to actually get to the plot, and the plot itself was just so absurd, it wasn't even fun to read. But at least while I ate, I got to enjoy the nice sunset. I love the view from this seat because I can really see the whole sky from here. And then I'll also, after I'm done eating, I'll fill up my thermos before I go back to my dorm so that I have water for the rest of the night. If I need anything from the student store, I'll go there before I head back to my room, and I did actually need something today. I was all out of frozen meals, which I do like to keep on hand in case it's ever cold out or raining, or, I just really don't feel like walking to the dining hall. Unfortunately, they had, all meat options right now, and usually they have a couple other choices, but it was really only just broccoli mac and cheese, which, I'm not complaining about because the broccoli mac and cheese one is one of my favorites, so I just got 2 of those to take back to my room. Once I was back, I did sit down at my desk and do more homework for a while. Fortunately, I don't have classes this next week because it is finals, so I'll have a little bit more time to get everything done, but I did want to just try to get ahead of everything. And then also Friday evenings, I always talk to my cousin over FaceTime, which is always just so much fun to catch up, and we usually talk for a couple hours. After that, I will sit down and do some more homework, and here I was working on my geography term paper. If I have any mail, I'll open it in the evening, and I did have a letter from my mom. As you can see, it was very difficult for me to open up the envelope with one hand as my other hand was holding the phone. And I'll also do any chores in the evening, so this will include dishes. Right here is my mug, which had oatmeal in it, if you're wondering why it looks chunky inside. Sorry, that's so gross. I filled those with water so that they could rinse a little bit while I washed my thermos. And it is always nice to get that done, just so I feel like everything is clean in my room. If I haven't done the Wordle yet, I'll do that in the evening, which usually I've actually done it by this point. It's kind of an anomaly that I hadn't done it at this point today. And I usually do it on my phone, so I did translate it back onto my phone after doing it on my laptop for the video. I'll FaceTime my mom, and inevitably I'll get to see Moose. And then I'll also do my Duolingo for the day. Usually once I've done all these sorts of tasks, chores, homework, that's when I'll finally decompress and take off my makeup, take out my contacts, and get into my pajamas. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I also just washed off my laptop so that it would be clean as I got into bed. And of course, I washed my phone too. Sometimes I'll crack open my window before bed, and this is gonna look so pathetic. It looks like it's hardly cracked open at all, but I promise you the wind was coming in, so cold air was flowing directly into the room. It looks like nothing, but it was something. And then I'll also close my shades too. I'll take out my hair, and if I have nothing the next day, I'll brush it. Brushing it just makes it really frizzy, so it's hard to deal with the next day. But I wasn't going anywhere, so it didn't matter. I'll also set up my bed, so it just looks all enticing when I get back in from my shower. So I don't know if I've really shown the process of showering in this dorm before. By the way, it looks like I was naked walking down the hall. I promise you I wasn't. It's because I had to wrap myself in my towel. And the reason for this is there's no stalls for the showers. It's just one curtain, which means it's very cramped in there. It's hard to change. So the easiest thing to do is just to go down in a towel and then walk back in a towel. And you just have to stand off to the side in the shower while you wait for the water to heat up. It's not the most convenient, but it works. After showering, I will go back to my room and do anything else I've forgotten, which in this case was laying out my clothing for the next day. And then I also just do some reading before bed, either fan fiction or novel, or maybe I'll watch some Netflix if there's a show I'm watching at the moment. Then I'll go back to the bathroom between 11 and 11:30 to go brush my teeth. When I get back, I'll journal, and usually once it does hit 11:30, that's when I get ready to really shut off the lights and actually try to fall asleep. But it's always just nice to journal before bed because I think that it's harder for me to fall asleep if I'm looking at my laptop or my phone for a while, just because of the brightness. But this is my evening routine, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week.